Alright guys, Matt from House of Geek, and we're going to go into part 3 of the Drukhari, Dark Eldar anyway. The Dark Eldar review. So we're going to cover probably cover the elites today. And we'll see how we go. So, quickly skip forward to the Dark Eldar section. Okay, so I hope everybody's been enjoying the content so far. The two videos I've put out regarding troops and HQs. Okay, so it looks like it starts here. Nope. Yeah, it starts back here somewhere. Like I said in previous videos, I'm not particularly keen on the set out of these the books, the layout, so but that's just a minor criticism. Okay, so the first elite choice we have here is the Carbolite Trueborn. Okay, so the Carbolite Trueborn, they are power rating of 5, which means not a great deal to me because I don't really do power ratings. So Carbolite Trueborn, squad of 5 to 20, 11 points each. Each model is equipped with a splinter rifle. The splinter rifle is free, we know that one already from doing the troops. Okay, so Carbolite Trueborn is movement 7, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 3+, strength and toughness 3, 1 wound, 2 attacks, leadership 8, 5+ save. Compared to a Carbolite Warrior, it has got 1 better attack, 1 better leadership. The Drukhari, which is basically the sergeant of the squad, which you get for free, so yeah, you might as well take him. He is exactly the same stats, apart from he has an additional attack, so he has 3 attacks in total. War gear wise, the Drukhari may take a power sword or an agonizer. I'm not going to bother going into the points of them because we've already spoke about them in the troops choices. The Drukhari may take a phantasm grenade launcher. The Drukhari may replace his splinter rifle with a splinter pistol or blast pistol. So we all know what all these do basically. I've already covered these in the previous videos. If you've not watched them, go and watch them. So obviously you know the points and what I'm talking about. Okay, up to 2 Carbolite Trueborn may replace their splinter rifles with either splinter cannon or a dark lance. So basically 2 models in the squad can have heavy weapons, which is a splinter cannon or a dark lance. Up to 4 Carbolite Trueborn may replace their splinter rifles with either a shredder or a blaster. I don't know whether I've covered shredder yet, so I'll quickly do that. So a shredder is 12-inch range, assault D3, strength 6, AP 0, 1 damage. When attacking a unit of infantry, so the infantry keyword, you can reroll all failed rolls to wound with this weapon. A shredder is 8 points. I think we might have covered it actually. The whole Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Shredder quotes coming back to me now. I can't remember. Anyway, so best ways for Trueborn and how I've used them myself. So how I've used Trueborn in the past is I've had a minimum squad of 5, and 4 of them have blasters, and the Drukhari is just there for the leadership bonus, so he just ends up having a splinter rifle. That's it. That's all he has. But what it's saying here is if you maximise the squad out, so if you have, let's just say you have 10. Let's say you have 10, you put them in a raider. 2 of those models can have a splinter cannon or a dark lance, and up to 4 Carbolite Trueborn may replace their splinter rifles with shredder or blaster. So you could have 2 dark lances and 4 blasters. That's a lot of dark light coming heading towards your opponent's way, really. Obviously dark lance has got more range, blaster's got less range. They're both the same strength, same AP. Blaster does less damage, a blaster does D3 damage, and obviously dark lance does D6. But you've got that option of literally hammering your opponent from range, and if he does get too close to you, you can punish him with your blasters. Now unfortunately the dark lance is a heavy weapon, so if you're in a raider and the raider moves, you're going to be -1 to hit. but it's still not too bad. Obviously, your ballistic skill 3, you're going to be forced to hit. It's not the end of the world. It's 50-50 chance. It's not too bad. Personally, I would probably run them as squads of 5 with 4 blasters, and just keep the Drakon. Probably keep him as standard. If you've got spare points, give him the Splinter Pistol, because the Splinter Pistol's free, and give him an Agonizer, because an Agonizer is only 4 points, and to be fair, it is quite a good melee weapon, especially as it's got 3 attacks. So if for whatever reason you get into combat with something, at least he's able to fight them off, kind of thing. So yeah, so Trubon, I still think they're quite a good viable option. They'll probably be a bit pricey. Blasters are, I believe blasters were 15 points. Just quickly check here. Blasters 15 points, yeah, and the Trubon are 11, so you're looking at 26 points per model. So it's not too bad. Obviously it's only range 18, but with your raiders moving so fast nowadays, it's not really so much of a problem. And you cut, that's 5 strength 8 or 4 strength 8 minus 4 AP shots, each one doing D3 damage. So it's it's going to wreck a lot of light vehicles, heavy infantry, things like that. So yeah, I still really do like Trubon. I really do rate them as well. So next we will go on to the Hectrix Blood Brides. Okay, just like the Carbonite Trubon, which are the upgraded version of the Carbonite Warriors, the Hectrix Blood Brides are the upgraded version of Witches. They have movement 8, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 3+, strength and toughness 3, 1 wound, 2 attacks, leadership 8, 6+ save. They are probably a little bit pricier. They are 13 points each. That's quite pricey, really, for what you get. Compared to an actual witch, they get 1 extra attack, 1 extra leadership. That's it. I'm not really sold on these. So, weapon-wise, the Siren, which is the sergeant of the squad. She is exactly the same, apart from she gains an additional attack, so she has got 3 attacks base. The Siren may take a Phantasm Grenade Launcher. The Siren may replace her Splinter Pistol with a Blast Pistol. Siren may replace her Hecatri Blade with either a Power Sword or Agonizer. All this is quite standard stuff, really. Okay, at the bottom here, one Blood Bride may replace their Splinter Pistol and Hecatri Blade with either Razor Flails, Hydra Gauntlets, or a Sharnet and Impaler. If the unit numbers 10 or more models, a further 2, up to 2 further, so you can have 3 models with the special weapons. For me, we've already been over the Hydra Gauntlets, Razor Flails and Sharnet and Impaler. They're okay, they're not great. If you wanted to take Blood Brides, I would say just take Witches, they're cheaper. You'd probably get double the amount of models on the board. It's a shame, really, because it's an option in the codex that's basically wasted, that people just, I wouldn't bother, and I would probably recommend other people not to bother unless you're going for a themed witch cult list. But even then, I'd recommend you just to take Witches, because you get more of them. Having that extra attack here, I know they've got 2 attacks. With their Hecatri Blade they gain additional attacks, so you get 3 attacks base, 4 attacks base if you choose a combat druid to give you an extra attack. But yeah, the Hectrix Blood Brides, I wouldn't recommend them. I can't see them being a viable option over Witches. Feet on floor kind of thing, boots on the ground kind of thing would be better off. If people have used them and they've had quite good success with them, comment and let people know what you've used, how you've kitted them out, what you think, and how you've used them, basically. So next we'll go on to the Incubi. Okay, Incubi, which are up here. So they are movement 7, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 3+, strength and toughness 3, 1 wound, 3 attacks, leadership 8 with a 2+ save. Points wise, Incubi are 18 points each, 5 to 10 in the squad. So 18 points is it's not too bad. It's a little bit expensive, it's not bad. The Clavex, which is basically the sergeant of the squad, he has an increased wounds. So he actually has 2 wounds now. So like the Exarchs for Eldar, he is now, gains an additional wound, which is really nice. Gains an additional attack, so he has 4 attacks base, which is cool. And he's got an extra leadership, so he's leadership 9. Nice. Oh, he's also got +1 weapon skill. So he's also hitting on 2s, 2+. So yeah, so having the Clavex is a really good thing to have these days. Each model is armed with a clave. Now, I imagine you have to pay some points for this because I imagine it's quite good. A clave is 0 points. I am surprised. So you get that weapon. You get that weapon for free, which is nice. A clave is +1 strength, so you are strength 4, -3 AP. That's pretty cool. So -3 to people's armor. Only does 1 damage though. That's a bit of a shame, really. It'd have been nice if it was 2 damage, or it was D3 damage. D3 damage might have been hoping a bit too much. Maybe 2 damage would have been nice. I know they have 3 attacks, but 1 damage, yeah. I mean, a squad of 5 is going to get 15 attacks. Hitting on 3s. I don't know. Anyway, the Clavex may replace his clave with demiclaves. Demiclaves are 8 points. And demiclaves, you can use them in 2 ways. Single-handed, they are +1 strength, -3 AP, 1 damage, just like a normal clave. Or you can split them down to dual blades, which are strength as user, so you're going to be strength 3. It's only -2 AP and it only does 1 damage. But if you do split them down, you gain 2 additional attacks. That's not too bad. It's pretty cool. Extra 8 points. It's nice, I suppose, to have the option if you're against things that are only, toughness 3, like hordes. You'll be able to split them down to gain additional attacks. It's pretty nice. Rules-wise, power from pain and lethal precision. Lethal precision means add 2 to the damage characteristic for a close combat attack made by the Clavex if he rolls a 6. On a wound roll. If you roll to wound and it's a 6, it does 2 damage. So that's pretty cool. I probably should have mentioned the abilities from the Blood Brides, but they are exactly the same as Witches, and the Trueborn doesn't even have any abilities, just power from pain. So yeah, just normal Corblack Warrior upgrade. So the Incubi, I myself haven't used them in 8th edition yet. They were quite good in 7th edition. In 8th edition, I imagine they're quite good in squads of 5 running around in Venoms. Because if you take maximum squads and you want exactly the same as the previous edition, if you're taking squads of 10, you're going to wipe out what you're killing. You're then going to be in the open and going to get shot. You want to be in combat, you want to be stuck in combat. You want to have to make your opponent leave that combat, because if he leaves, he can't shoot unless he's got some fancy pants rules that means you can shoot when he disengages. Incubi are quite good. They do look good on paper. Whether they are good or on the board or not, I don't know. But yeah, I imagine Incubi, if they're combined with their special character, the Drazar. Is he here? I've gone too far. Here he is, Drazar. Because his special ability is add 1 to the hit rolls of all friendly Incubi units within 6 inches of Drazar. So if you are able to take him, all your Incubi are hitting on 2s. Now don't forget, with your power from pain, which the Incubi have, as from turn 3, you're getting an additional +1 to hit in combat. So you're going to be hitting on 1s, but that's obviously a 1 is always a fail, but that's if you are charging something that gives you -1 to hit them or -2 to hit them. You still it just tallies up. So yeah, if people have used Incubi, comment, let people know how you've used them. I myself haven't quite used them in 8th yet. They were a good addition. They were good in previous edition. I'm sure they're quite a good viable choice in this edition. On the same page at the bottom here, we're going to go to probably the most improved unit for the entire Dark Eldar, which is Mandrakes. So Mandrakes are How many points are these nowadays? Mandrakes are 19 points. So they're quite expensive. They're a lot. They're even pricier than a Incubi. So I hope that I've got something fancy about them. Unit squad size 5 to 10. So Mandrakes are movement 8, so that's quite a good movement for them. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4 base, which is nice. Toughness 3, 1 wound, 2 attacks base, leadership 7, and a 7+ save. The Night Fiend, which is basically the sergeant of their squad, is exactly the same stats, apart from he has 3 attacks, not 2, and he has an additional leadership, so he's leadership 8, not 7. Each model is equipped with equipped with a Bale Blast. Bale Blast is 0 points, so you don't have to pay for that, that's cool. And Glimmersteel Blade. A Glimmersteel Blade is also 0 points, so 19 points flat, and that's the model you're getting. Stats wise, people might be thinking they're not, this sound average, but I'll tell you now, they are good. Okay, so the Bale Blast is range 18, assault 2, strength 4 plus, strength 4 plus, I wish it was 4 plus, strength 4, AP -1, damage 1. So the AP -1 is really good, and it's obviously assault 2, so that's, it's quite handy that. Abilities for that weapon is each time you roll a to wound roll of 6+ for this weapon, the target suffers a mortal wound in addition to any other damage. So if anything takes a wound and you've rolled a 6, it's going to take an additional mortal wound which it cannot physically save. So something that's going to be hitting on 3s, wounding normal infantry I'd say on 4s or 3s, you're going to get a couple of 6s, -1 AP, you're going to be causing a lot of damage. Those mortal wounds will soon tally up. I've used them myself against vehicles and they soon tally up. Let me tell you, I've got a lot of faith in Mandrakes. They are easily the most improved unit for Dark Eldar. The Glimmersteel Blade is a melee weapon, type melee, strength as user, so you are strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. Each time the bearer fights, it can make 1 additional attack with this weapon. So your standard Mandrake is now on 3 attacks, not 2, and the Night Fiend is on 4 attacks, not 3. So strength 4 is obviously it's no AP and only 1 damage, so people might not be thinking it's too great. But for Dark Eldar players, seeing Mandrakes with this, it's such a big buff what they've got, compared to what they're used to. The models as well are really nice. I really do like the Mandrake models. Abilities, so they have Power from Pain, so they're obviously kitted out for combat. So turn 1 they're going to ignore wounds on 6s. Turn 2 they can reroll the charge. So if you want to charge, they can reroll it if they fail, obviously. One of the other special rules that we've got is this from out of the shadows, which is a really good rule. So in this rule is during your deployment you can set this unit up in the realm of Alandrich, I don't know, can't pronounce that. Basically it's the realm of shadows, instead of placing them on the battlefield. At the end of any of your movement phases, the Mandrakes can pull themselves into reality. Set this unit up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches away from enemy unit. So basically deep strike. So if you're coming on turn 2, turn up, fire whatever with your Bale Blast. Don't forget you can split fire, so you can have 5 shooting one way, 5 shooting another way, or however you're going to split it. And then you elect to charge, because you can charge when you turn up now. Because you turn up on turn 2, you can re-roll that because of your Power from Pain. So it really is nice now, this special rule. And the final special rule, they've got Shrouded from Sight, which is your opponent must subtract 1 from the hit rolls of any attacks that target this unit. In addition, the model gains a 5+ invulnerable save. Now that's massive. That's huge. So they automatically get a 5+ invulnerable save. So this whole 7+ save thing is pointless, redundant. They might as well not bother giving them a save. But they're getting a 5+ invulnerable save now all the time, which is really, really nice. And the other main rule here is that your opponent must subtract 1 from all hit rolls against them. Now it states hit rolls, so that is actually shooting and in combat. So the -1 to hit from shooting and in combat, it's saved my mandrakes so many times. Having an opponent thinking to themselves, oh, I'm going to shoot at them, it's only 3s to hit. It's actually 4s. It cuts their odds down by quite a bit. Someone that's really good at maths will obviously tell me what the odds are, but I'm not good at maths, but it's a lot. For me, my mandrakes are definitely my MVPs of pretty much all the games that I've played of 8 so far. I've played a mini tournament, that was 4 games. I played a random game against a friend, that'd be 5, and I've played a game against Aidan, which I filmed today, which will be going on the channel soon. So yeah, these have been my MVPs really in pretty much all my battle reports. I would recommend taking a squad of 5. Squads of 10 are really, really good, but your opponent will just target them, and then you will lose more through morale. Obviously losing them through morale, should I say. The downside to a squad of 5 is 5 is going to be easy to kill, so it's finding that happy medium. I take a squad of 10 for the simple fact that I can split, because you can split fire now. I can have 5 shooting one way and 5 shooting another way, and they get two shots each. So that's 10 shots either way, causing mortal wounds. If you need to concentrate fire on something, you can do. So I definitely recommend mandrakes for anyone that's getting into Dark Eldar or thinking about starting Dark Eldar. Mandrakes are very, very nice. The models are stunning as well. I really do like the sculpts for the Games Workshop mandrakes. If other people have used them, comment and let everybody know what you think of them. Some people aren't massively keen on them. I myself do actually really like them, obviously. So that is it for the mandrakes. Next we will go on to grotesques. Okay, grotesques. So what is the point value of a grotesque these days? Grotesques are, if I can find them, 31 points each. So that's quite pricey, and their squad size is 3 to 10. So for those points, what are we getting? We are getting movement 7, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 6+, strength and toughness 5, 3 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 8 with a 6+ save. Each model is armed with a monstrous cleaver and a flesh gauntlet. So, monstrous cleaver is 3 points for a monstrous cleaver. A flesh gauntlet is 6 points. So there's 9 points, and they're 31 points, so 40 points straight off the bat. Oh, wow. 40 points. Okay. Flesh gauntlet is melee user. So strength is, melee, a type melee. Strength is star. It is AP 0, damage 1. Now the strength of the weapon is, or it wounds everything on a 4+ unless the target is a vehicle, in which case it wounds on a 6. Each time you roll a wound roll of 6+ for this weapon, other than against a vehicle, the target suffers a mortal wound in addition to any other damage. So it's sort of like the Mandrake's Bale Blast. But the thing I'm not keen on is the flesh gauntlet is the fact that it wounds everything on a 4+. Your strength 5, you know, those things that are only toughness 3, you should be wounding them on 3s. You know, why 4s? Yeah, if the option is not to take the flesh gauntlet, I won't take it. The monstrous cleaver, on the other hand, which was I think, was that one only 3 points? I think so. In my eyes, is a lot better. So it's range melee, type melee, strength user. So you're strength 5 now. That's a good thing. It is AP -1. So you're actually doing, you know, minusing 1 to your opponent. Only damage 1. But each time the bearer fights, it can make 1 additional attack with this weapon. So you've got 4 attacks plus 1 for using that weapon, so you're actually getting 5 attacks now, 5 attacks each, so that's quite nice. For war gear options, any model may replace a monstrous cleaver with a liquefier gun. So you can take a liquefier gun if you want. We already know the points of a liquefier gun and what it does because we've spoken about them already. One grotesque may take weapons from the weapons of torture list. So this will be your sergeant basically, even though there's no such thing as a sergeant for the grotesques. So the weapons of torture are an agonizer, electrosive whip, flesh gauntlet, mind phase gauntlet, scissor hand, venom blade. We already know what they did. We covered them in the homunculus section. Electrosive whip's not bad because it's better AP, I believe, and better damage. I think. I'll just double check. Yeah, it's -2 AP, 2 damage for the electrosive whip. But again, the downside to that is this weapon wounds on a 4+ unless it is against a vehicle, so it's 6s. So again, you know, those things that are only toughness 3, you're going to be wounding them on 4s. But you know, if you're going to be charging it against tougher things, might be quite handy to take the electrosive whip. They have weapon special abilities. Got power from pain. So we spoke about power from pain in the first video, basically covering that it is kitted for combat. So you know, good for them. And they have a 5+ invulnerable save, is that as well? So that's always nice. So they've kept that from last edition. I think last edition they basically had a 5+ feel no pain. Now it is a 5+ invulnerable, and obviously from power from pain they gain basically a 6+ to ignore wounds. So I think they are better than the last edition. Obviously they're going to miss Rampage. Rampage was very nice for them, but they've got that invulnerable save. So in my eyes, probably they're slightly more durable, depending on mortal wounds and things. Okay, so I think possibly finally for the elites we have the Beastmaster. So we'll quickly cover him. So the Beastmaster. This is a guy that runs around with the hounds, the flocks, the razor wing flocks, the big monster things that I can't remember the names of. Beastmaster is 56 points, one model. Wow, 56 points. He is movement 12, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 3+, strength and toughness 3, 3 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 7 with 5+ save. Beastmaster is a single model. He rides a skyboard equipped with a splinter pod. Splinter pod is 0 because it will come in the skyboard, so you're already paying the points for that basically. Splinter pods are range 18, assault 2, basically poison, so you win everything on 4s unless it's a vehicle, so you win on 6s. AP 0 and 1 damage. This model may replace Beastmaster's Scourge with an Agonizer and Power Sword. Okay, so it has is armed with the Beastmaster's Scourge. What's the Beastmaster's Scourge? Beastmaster's Scourge is 4 points. So Beastmaster's Scourge is range melee, type melee, strength is +1, AP 0, 1 damage. Okay, so you can basically swap that out for an Agonizer or a Power Sword. Abilities: power from pain, combat drugs. So you can choose your combat drug, and power from pain. Obviously we spoke about that already. And Beastmaster. Obviously this is the whole point in him. All friendly Drukhari beast units that are within 6 inches of the Beastmaster in the fight phase can reroll hits, and all friendly Drukhari beast units that are within 6 of the Beastmaster in the morale phase use the Beastmaster's leadership instead of their own. In addition, if your army is battle forged, then for each Beastmaster in your army you can take a Drukhari beast unit from the same detachment without taking up any of the detachment slots. Whew. Right, so rerolling hits, which is like a little buff for beasts only. You can use his leadership, he's leadership 7 if you're within 6 inches, and if it is battle forged army you can take beasts and they don't cast any they don't take out any slots in the command structure. So I'm thinking now, because you can choose your combat drug, would it be worth giving him +2 leadership if you're dead set on taking beasts? So that would make him leadership 7, 8, 9. Make him leadership 9, so it's not too bad. He is classed as a character, so he can't be seen, he can't be targeted by anything, obviously, unless he's a physical closest model. He's got fly, so he can disengage from combat and fly around and shoot stuff at his normal ballistic skill. So personally, I wouldn't take him, because I probably wouldn't take any of the beasts and stuff. I mean, the beasts are, I believe, all like a fast attack choice. They are. So we'll cover the fast attack in the next video, I believe. Yes, we'll cover the fast attack in the next video. So, I mean, he's alright. I've heard a lot of people on Dark Eldar forums and Dark Eldar groups on Facebook talk about how amazing the beasts are and stuff, but we will go over them in the next video. So that's it for the elite choices. The next video we'll do will be fast attack, and we will also cover the flyers as well in the same video. So I hope you guys like the video. I hope you guys are liking the series so far. These are my own views, my own opinions on what I think works, what I've used. So yeah, so if you guys like it, please comment and let me know. If you don't like it, comment and let me know anyway, so I can change it to make it a little bit better for next time. And that is it. So I'll speak to you guys next time. Toodaloo.